Hello friend, today's video is about not waiting for perfect conditions to start a creative project. If you're anything like me, you probably deal with some level of perfectionism where you worry about the outcome of a project, or maybe you over-optimize. As you can see, conditions are not perfect for filming this video. I am in a car, I'm using a front-facing camera on my phone, which is the lesser of the cameras. I am in a noisy car because it is very cold and I have all the heat blaring. So I've got a noise cancellation thing on this microphone. There's a very good chance this camera will just flop down and fall from where it's positioned at some point in this video. Conditions are not perfect for filming this video, but you know what? I'm giving it a shot anyway. There it happened, I told you. Which way are we? Not great. Don't love that framing, but you know what? We're gonna do it. Now it's plugged into a magnet card holder that just can't frame it properly, so whatever. This just proves the point. This proves the point. You shouldn't wait until conditions are perfect. Something that I've been realizing lately is that I wait way too long when I've got a creative project. I am trying to plan out everything. I'm trying to optimize it to the nth degree, and this happened with running recently. I used to run, and I don't really run anymore. Life's been busy, and I kind of fallen off of that. But I'm reading a book about running, and it really gets me jazzed about running. It makes me interested in running. However, it's been really cold, and there's been a snowstorm lately, so I haven't been able to get out to run, but I'm thinking about it a lot. And then I find myself researching apps for tracking running, and researching programs for getting into running, and routines, and trying to figure out, well, how can I stay accountable? Are there any social apps for running? Which there are. I'm doing all this research and I find myself just getting stressed out, and I haven't even began running yet. And then I just stop everything because I recognize in myself this is something I do all the time. I always try to optimize too much. I'm trying to make this perfect. I've got this idea that if I optimize enough at the beginning, then I'm bound to succeed this goal. I'm bound to have success. However, when there's no strict due date or anything like that, because it's just a personal goal, I could optimize forever. I could plan forever. I could tinker with the game plan and never actually start. And I realized more and more that's something that I just do with personal creative projects, or personal projects in general, is that I deal more with planning on how to do it than just doing it. And once I was realizing this, I started journaling a bit about it and just telling myself, I don't want to discredit optimizing to some degree and planning to some degree, because some people might have the opposite problem where they don't plan enough, and then it results in failure because they just don't have a good plan. I think there needs to be a little bit of planning, but if you're like me, that's not the problem. A little bit, you can do a little bit of planning. You do too much planning to the point that it's stressful, it's a burden. What I really need to do when it comes to the running goal is get out and run. I need to try to run a mile. I need to run one lap and walk one lap. I need to just get out and build a routine of getting out and running. Just use the first app that I've got, or a smartwatch or something, and just track that and see how that goes. And then I build off of it from there. There's something that I keep referring to and that I like. I think it's called Gall's Law, G-A-L-L, I think, Gall's Law. And basically what that says is a complex system is built from a simple system that has been added to over time. You don't need a complex system from the get-go. Honestly, things are better if you start with the bare minimum and go and kind of fail a little bit and realize, I actually need this, add structure to this routine, or I need this, help me want to stick to this goal more. And then you build upon it. You don't build the Iron Man Tony Stark machine all in one go. You're like, hey, I need an arm piece, I need a foot piece, I need a chest blaster or whatever, and then you build it and tailor it to exactly what you need, because maybe you don't need all the crazy stuff. Maybe if you're tracking everything and doing all this stuff, it keeps you from enjoying the goal. That talks about in my book, there's a term, if I can look it up, I think it's like farlet something. It's another language. I'll try to stick it up here. But it was the idea that some people held to back in the day, where training and running shouldn't be constrained by stopwatches and the track. You should just get out and run and not measure it, and just do what your body feels when you're running and training. And that's kind of something that I just need to feel it. I don't pave out the entire way. So yeah, that's just a thought. That's something that I'm thinking through and working through, and I feel like others might relate to it. When it comes to video stuff, I'm in the same boat right here. I'm in a season of life where it's really tricky to find time. I have a young child, I became a dad, and where we're living just doesn't have a ton of room right now to have a permanent studio of any kind. So if I make more videos, I might just be in a utility closet filming the videos. But if I'm waiting till I have a studio, that's just not gonna happen. I just won't have a studio for a little while. At some point, I've got plans to figure something out, but just not in the place we're living right now. Oh, I need a better camera that has better autofocus. That's another thing that's been causing me to stumble too, is I've got cameras, but the autofocus isn't really great, and in the past I've not been able to trust it. Maybe I just make some stuff and I try it out, and if I make a video and the autofocus is bad, I make a joke about it, and then I move forward, and then I try to figure out a way to fix that or use something else that's more trustworthy. I'm using these things as excuses. Oh, I'm in a utility room. Oh, this camera might not record the way I want it to prevent me from even starting. And then I'm just thinking about these things because I'm not starting them. So I want to reiterate, try not to wait for perfect conditions. I'm not the best at that. I'm going to try to work on that a little bit more. I'm going to try to put myself out there and just have fun talking. That's what this channel is about. I'm talking things out. That's kind of the priority. I want to just build a community for people who are creative and want to have an intentional life, and that's just what we're gonna do. So yeah, let's try to be less precious. What's also ironic is I'm not this way at work. This is the last thought, is that I'm not this way at work. I can get things done and plan just enough and push things forward, but I think it's because there's outside forces and deadlines that I need to hit. However, a running goal or a personal video goal doesn't have outside forces. It's just whenever I want to do it. So it's a little harder for me to stick to, because then I'll just stay in the planning stage. But let's try to break out of that when it comes to personal things. Plan just enough and then hit the ground running, and then adjust course as you go and make adjustments. Go do your thing and make it not perfect. That's all I got. Bye.